Did you know that your walking speed after age 70 can be a stronger predictor of how long you'll live than, say, your DNA or even your medical history?
Wow. That's really interesting. So something as simple as every day as how fast someone walks,
Yeah.
that can really tell us something quite important.
Absolutely. It really can. And for those of us who, have reached that milestone or maybe are
Yeah.
approaching it, or even for those who care about loved ones, parents, grandparents in that age group, these are the kinds of everyday signs we probably should be paying attention to.
Okay. So what else should we be looking out for besides walking speed?
Right. Okay, let's get into it. So that first one, walking speed, there's this clear connection we see between how quickly someone walks after 70 and, well, their lifespan. It's really more than just getting from point A to point B, isn't it? A good, steady pace. It often reflects how well your whole body is doing.
Yeah, and what's fascinating is how walking involves so many systems. Like you said, we're talking muscle strength, definitely. How well your heart and lungs are working.
Yeah.
Getting oxygen around.
Right.
And even brain health comes into it, keeping everything coordinated.
It's like a machine, I suppose. If one part isn't quite right, the whole thing kind of slows down.
That's a great way to put it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's picture two people, say both 75. Joe walks regularly, keeps up a pretty brisk pace, doesn't struggle much.
Okay.
Then there's Frank. Frank's really slowed down, finds it maybe harder to keep up on walks.
Right.
Joe's walking speed, it just gives this picture of a body that's, well, functioning pretty well across the board.
And for Frank, his slower speed, that could be a flag, couldn't it? A signal that maybe something else is going on underneath. It might not just be age, could be muscle weakness creeping in.
Or circulation issues.
Yeah, or even subtle neurological changes. Our legs, they're really fundamental.
But here's the encouraging part, I think. How fast you walk. It isn't set in stone.
Oh, okay.
You can actually often improve it just by being more active, maybe doing some simple leg strengthening exercises.
That's good to know.
So if you've noticed you're slowing down, it's a good nudge to maybe try and build that back up a bit.
That's a really important point. It's like our bodies give us these little clues, don't they? Walking speed is definitely one, a kind of built-in resilience check.
Yeah, exactly. Now, speaking of strength, here's another sign. It might surprise you, actually, how strong your grip is.
Ah, grip strength. Okay.
Yeah, the strength in your hands can tell you quite a bit about your overall health as you get older.
It's interesting, isn't it? A firm handshake.
Ah.
It often points to just general vitality, good overall health. It usually suggests, good muscle mass throughout the body, decent circulation.
And a nervous system that's firing properly.
Right.
Now, on the flip side, a group that's getting weaker, well, that could be an early sign of losing muscle, generally. Frailty, sometimes it's called. And that can be linked to higher risks for other health problems down the line.
Okay, so let's think about Robert and Walter, both, say, 78.
Right. Robert still has that really firm handshake. Opens jars, no problem.
Okay. And Walter?
Walter's noticing things like jars are getting harder. His grip just isn't what it was.
And what Walter might not connect is that weakening grip. It could reflect a more general muscle loss, not just in his hands.
Exactly.
And like we said with walking speed, less muscle overall, that can make someone more vulnerable, right? Falls, injuries.
And potentially impact lifespan. It really does all seem connected. Our hands link back to our core strength.
If that grip weakens, it might signal the rest of the body's muscles are weakening too. Makes staying independent harder.
Yeah, it does. But again, and this is a recurring theme, isn't it?
Seems like it.
The good news is you can often do something about it. Simple things like squeezing a tennis ball.
Or those little hand grippers you can get.
Exactly. Or even light weights. It can help maintain or even rebuild that strength. Small effort, potentially big difference.
Absolutely. Paying attention to these small things gives you a much clearer picture.
Okay, so here's another one. Might not seem obvious at first. Your ability to stand on one leg.
Ah, yes, balance. This is quite revealing, actually. Some research shows that being able to balance on one leg for, I think it's about 10 seconds or more.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty strong predictor of longevity.
Really? 10 seconds? That seems surprisingly simple. What's the link?
Well, think about what good balance needs. You need strong leg muscles, strong core muscles.
That's okay. Makes sense.
A nervous system that's sending signals really quickly and accurately.
Right.
And a healthy brain coordinating it all.
Right.
So if balance starts to wobble, it might mean one of those systems isn't quite up to par.
That makes sense. And we always hear how falls are such a big risk for older adults. Good balance is key there, obviously.
Exactly. Avoiding falls and the injuries that come with them. But it's maybe even more than that. Some studies link poorer balance with cognitive decline, too.
Oh, interesting.
Whereas people who keep good balance tend to live longer, healthier lives overall.
Okay, let's picture Carol and Nancy, both early 70s. Carol stays active, walks, maybe does yoga or Tai Chi, stands on one leg, no problem.
Right, steady.
Nancy maybe hasn't focused on balance much. Tries to stand on one foot, and she really wobbles. Needs to put her foot down quickly.
And that wobble, it's not just inconvenient. It could indicate that her coordination, maybe her leg strength,
Or even her brain's processing speed for movement.
might be declining a bit. So if you find yourself feeling unsteady, needing to grab onto things more often, it's worth paying attention to.
And like the others, balance is something you can work on, right?
Definitely. Simple things. Try standing on one foot while you brush your teeth, maybe. Hold on to the counter at first.
Or practicing walking heel to toe, like walking on a pretend tightrope.
Exactly. Those little exercises can make a real difference over time. It builds that stability back up.
It really tells us a lot, doesn't it? Physical health, neurological health, all wrapped up in standing on one leg.
It does. Okay, let's switch gears slightly. Something we all do, or should do, every night. Sleep.
Sleep. Yes.
How well you sleep after 70.
Right.
And they can also give insights into longevity.
Absolutely. Sleep isn't just downtime, is it? It's crucial.
It's when your body does major repair work, boosts the immune system.
Clears out toxins from the brain, I've read.
Exactly. And studies consistently show that older adults who get regular, good quality sleep, they tend to live longer and healthier.
And the opposite is true too, right? People who consistently sleep poorly,
Yeah.
they seem to face higher risks.
Yeah, higher risks for things like memory problems, heart issues, a weaker immune response.
Let's think about Henry and Bill again. Mid-70s, Henry has a good routine, goes to bed around the same time, gets maybe 7-8 hours, feels rested.
Okay, pretty standard good sleep.
Bill, though, lots of restless nights, wakes up a lot, still feels tired in the morning, even after hours in bed.
And over time, that difference adds up. Henry's body is getting that chance to repair and recharge.
Well, Bill, he might start noticing things like trouble concentrating, low energy, maybe even effects on blood pressure, all potentially linked back to that poor sleep.
Definitely. So if you find yourself waking frequently or struggling to fall asleep or just feeling chronically tired, that's a signal. Don't ignore it.
And poor sleep can stem from lots of things, can't it? Stress, diet.
Inactivity, or even underlying things like sleep apnea, worth looking into.
But the good news here, too, you can often improve sleep quality, making some changes.
Like what?
Well, maybe cutting back on screens before bed, phones, tablets.
The blue light, yes.
Trying to keep a regular sleep schedule, even on weekends. Getting some daylight in the morning helps set your body clock.
And maybe avoiding heavy meals late at night.
That too. It's about creating the right routine, the right environment for sleep. It's just fundamental for body and mind as we age.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, next up, something that fuels us. Appetite and eating habits.
Right. How we eat after 70. Another significant indicator, apparently.
It is. A healthy appetite, a balanced diet that gives your body the fuel and the building blocks it needs for strength, immunity, energy.
Makes sense.
On the other hand, losing your appetite suddenly or consistently eating poorly, that can be a warning sign. Could signal underlying issues, might even speed up aging.
Okay, let's use Margaret and Susan, both 74. Margaret enjoys her food, eats a good variety, lots of whole foods. Her weight's pretty stable.
That's good.
Susan. She's noticed she's just not that hungry anymore. Often skips meals or just grabs something processed and easy, and she's lost some weight without trying.
Right, and that decreased appetite, that unintentional weight loss, Susan might not realize that could mean she's not getting vital nutrients, which can lead straight to muscle weakness, a slower metabolism.
A weaker immune system too, perhaps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And sometimes a drop in appetite in older adults can be linked to digestive changes, maybe hormonal shifts, even early cognitive changes in some cases.
And if you're not taking in enough good food, your body might start breaking down muscle for energy, right?
Yeah.
Leading towards that frailty we mentioned.
Exactly. Higher risk of falls, illnesses.
Yeah.
It's a chain reaction.
So if you notice big changes, feeling full really quickly, just no interest in food, losing weight without meaning to, pay attention.
Definitely. Eating well after 70 isn't just about avoiding hunger. It's about actively nourishing your body.
Focusing on whole foods, nutrient-dense foods.
Staying hydrated, too. That's important.
Right?
And yeah, don't ignore a shrinking appetite. It could be your body saying something needs checking out.
Okay. Let's move to something more. Maybe psychological, but with physical effects. Handling stress.
Yes. How you manage stress after 70, that tells us a lot about long-term health. We know chronic stress. It's not just feeling worried, it physically weakens the immune system.
Increases heart disease risk too, doesn't it?
It does, and can even speed up aging at a cellular level. It's quite profound.
Wow. But people who have good coping mechanisms, they tend to fare better.
Much better. They tend to stay healthier, more active, mentally sharper as they age.
Let's think about John and Richard, both 76. John faces challenges, everyone does, but he has ways to cope. Maybe mindfulness, staying connected with friends, hobbies. He finds a way to stay relatively calm.
Okay. Handles it constructively.
Richard, he tends to hold on to worry, gets easily overwhelmed. Stress really builds up for him.
And that constant stress takes a physical toll on Richard over time. You might see higher blood pressure, definitely sleep problems like we discussed.
Lower energy levels overall.
Yeah, because that long-term stress triggers inflammation throughout the body. And chronic inflammation is linked to so many age-related diseases.
So if you often feel tense, irritable, just drained emotionally, it's really important to find healthy outlets.
Absolutely. Whatever works for you. Mindfulness is popular now.
Exercise is a great stress buster.
Deep breathing techniques, even just finding ways to laugh more.
Anything that helps you manage stress effectively, it really can contribute to a longer, healthier life.
It's about building that resilience, isn't it? How you react, letting go of unnecessary worry. It impacts your physical health, not just mental, and potentially your lifespan.
Okay, our final sign, and it's a big one, very human, social connections.
Ah, yes, the strength of your relationships, a really powerful indicator after 70.
That's absolutely right. Study after study shows this. People with strong social ties, friends, family, community involvement.
They just tend to live longer, healthier lives. It's quite consistent.
And the flip side is stark, isn't it? Loneliness. It's linked to higher risks of serious issues.
Yeah, heart disease, depression, cognitive decline, even, sadly, dying earlier.
Let's picture Eleanor and Barbara again, both 78. Eleanor's got an active social life, keeps in touch with friends, maybe volunteers or joins clubs, sees her family.
Engaged, connected.
Barbara, maybe circumstances have changed or she's withdrawn, spends most of her time alone, feels quite isolated.
And that isolation. It's not just about feeling sad, though that's part of it. Human connection actually affects our biology. Interacting keeps our brains active, helps lower stress hormones.
Releases beneficial chemicals like oxytocin.
Exactly. Things that are good for our overall well-being. It has a direct physical benefit.
So if you find yourself pulling back from people, spending more time alone than you'd ideally like, that's something to maybe gently address.
It really is. Even small steps. Call an old friend you haven't spoken to in a while.
Look into local groups, maybe. Libraries often have things, community centers.
Yeah. Just making that effort to connect, it can make a huge difference. Nurturing those bonds. It's an investment in your long-term health.
Keeps you engaged with life, provides that vital support system.
Couldn't agree more.
So we've covered quite a bit here. Are you finding this information helpful? Have you maybe noticed any of these signs, either in yourself or perhaps someone you care about? We'd genuinely love to hear about your experiences. Let us know by leaving a comment below.
So, wrapping things up, it really does seem like many of the factors influencing longevity after 70, well, they aren't necessarily fixed, are they? There appears to be a lot we can actively do, things within our control, to improve our chances of a longer and healthier life.
That's a great takeaway. So thinking about these 7 signs we discussed, walking speed, grip strength, balance, sleep, appetite, stress, connections, what's one small change, just one thing, that you feel inspired to maybe try making in your daily life, starting today? Something that could have a really positive impact down the road.
That's a powerful question to consider. And if you found this discussion valuable today, please do give us a like and maybe subscribe too so you don't miss out on more insights like these in the future.